On the bench today, we've got an old shotgun stock for, believe it or not, one of my shotties. This one Bubba really got his hands on, and Bubba was truly an idiot. He Bubba'd it twice. He did this nice, well, nice is an overstatement, this camouflage pattern on it. And then, because he didn't clean his gun and he just oiled it when it got sticky, and then stowed it, like that. So all that extra oil ran out of the receiver down into the buttstock, and that's what turned it black. This is called oil intrusion. A lot of times, that oil will run down through the stock bolt hole, all the way down the inside of the stock, and then settle against the butt plate, and it's black. So that's the first stupid Bubba. Second stupid Bubba is he allowed it because it's so over-oiled. When you over-oil, it makes the wood grain weak, saturates it, and now it has a nice crack that runs there and there, and there's a small one here, and it's chipped. So my mission is this is going to get soaked in acetone, and acetone will not only remove the camouflage, but it'll also soak the oil out of the wood fibers and dry them out. And then I will open this up a little bit, just enough to get some Acroglass epoxy. Harley's. Get some epoxy in the crack, the big one. I don't know if I'm going to fix that. I don't have to look at it. And I might even drill this out where there's meat here and dog bone it to reinforce, because once it's cracked, it's cracked. And if I don't get all the oil out of the crack, the epoxy will stick to the oil and not the wood grain, and it won't fix it. So hopefully underneath this bullshit paint job is a nice walnut stock with beautiful grain, and I'll make it look pretty, because right now it looks like ass. But we'll see. And the object of the game is to get in it, repair it, and make it look like I've never been there. So this morning, when I made the video about this stock, I took it out and I put in a 1 gallon paint can, about 3/4 full of acetone, and I've been soaking it, and I got the paint off. This line that runs through here is where, I had it in this way, and then I had it in this way, and this is the overlap. It'll sand out. It'll be fine. Kind of interesting. This morning I thought that was a dent. It's not. It's actually a knot. The grain follows it around. That's actually a blemish. Don't know what to make of that, but whatever. Funny is it doesn't come out of anywhere else in the stock, so I'm guessing it'll be okay. It's not a structural issue. Oh, maybe it does right there. Interesting. Back to the cracks, though. This crack, I don't know if it's picking up on camera. Yeah, you can see it. This is where oil is oozing out of that crack. That crack comes down through here and then through here. And when I said that I got to get all that oil out for the epoxy to have something to stick to, I wasn't wrong. That is oil. And I don't know if the camera's picking up, but this is kind of a gray compared to this being a nice walnut brown. That still has oil in it. I pulled it out just to look at it, and I figured I'd fill you guys in on what it's doing so far. Now, I thought this crack went all the way through the stock. I thought the entire stock was split horizontally. Turns out it's not. If you look at this side, here, oh shit, there goes that. If you look at this side, there's the other crack, the other long crack. Now, I pointed this out thinking that this crack and that crack were, went through, but they don't. Remember I said that there's a crack here on the wrist? Well, it turns out that this crack and this crack go together. This piece of lumber here, this piece of stock, wants to chip out. It wants to split, spall, whatever you want to call it. And it wants to come out. I'll reset the camera. We'll look at the end grain, and I'll show you something that you've probably never seen before. Hang on. All right. I think it's recording. I don't know. I could be wrong. If you look right around this circle here, where it connects into the receiver, watch this. You see that split out right there? See that open up? You can actually look down in there. Now that wants to chip out. Now this crack right there, this piece just wants to blow out. I've never fixed one of those before. These cracks I have fixed before. Now, and I'm not dismissing it, but I have experience with them, and I know what to expect. However, that chip crack, that's gonna throw me. So what I can do is I could take something like that and open that crack up just a little bit, just enough to get some epoxy in there. See that? I can get some epoxy down in there and get that thing glued back together. This one I'm going to have to figure out how to open that up, but I can start packing that in and wiggle it, and it'll actually use like a wicking action, and it will hopefully suck the epoxy in and get a nice tight bond. But before that happens, I've got to get it back in the epoxy, or back in the acetone, get all the rest of this oil out of here. And there's still oil in the end. That's still black. That's got to go. And hopefully revitalize it. But I believe this is going to be pretty nice. Once I get it all glued back together, I'll take it to an 800 grit sandpaper finish by hand. I'll get all these dents out of it and these scratches, and I think I'll have a nice looking stock. But just letting you all know. See you later.